Paul Higgins, and I want to take you through a project plan that we've used recently to launch webinars. So this is Asana. Don't worry about the platform per se. What we're going to do is quickly go through the content, and if you want a PDF version of what I've gone through, just let me know. So what I've got here is each of the key sections that we went through, which is really building our project plan. So first we just had some ad hoc tasks, right? The next was around the theme. So the theme was really important to get it right. So we spent quite a bit of time on this, and once you get that right, that becomes the key communication method through all of it. And probably the best thing to come up with the theme is to get someone to interview all of your clients, or if there's common themes that you know is their burning platform, that's going to be a great one. And then you can use Headline Analyzer. I know there's some out by HubSpot and others to really get to that. Then I've just had the instructions on how to do it. The next was linked, and this is no particular order. This was in the order that we last used it. LinkedIn events was huge for us. So we had over, I think, 330 people that did it. So there's a whole lot of steps that go under the LinkedIn event. There's actually 23 that we went through, but LinkedIn events was really powerful, and I highly recommend that. Next was around the slide deck itself. So I've got a format, so if you want to get your hands on that format, once again, let me know. You can email me at paul@buildlivegive.com. But I think, it's really about telling a story. So we had a framework for doing that. I did some of it. Then we had the graphic designer, and I had my team help me with it. Bonuses. So a bonus in two respects. So one is if they turn up live to the webinar, and if your software can see what point they exit, if they get to a certain point at the end. But I didn't announce the bonus until the end when they were live on the webinar. This is for a live webinar. And also a bonus if they book the action. So mine was to book a call, and once they booked a call, they also got a second bonus. Promotions was basically how we promoted across our social media platforms. And I had Chi, a member of my team, do that. So we went across, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the one that for us that we doubled down on was LinkedIn, which is how you got to see my post about this. Design is just around, the physical design. So the key things you're going to design is the landing page, but then you've also got the rego page, I should say. You've also got the LinkedIn event that you need to design for that. And then there's also the deck itself, which is the slide deck. Post-event, so what are your actions going to be post-event? And this is really important because, not a lot of, you won't, maybe if you get a registration to turn up rate of 50%, I think our last one was about 25%, there's still a lot of people that are going to watch the replay. We had the replay for 48 hours afterwards, and you want to have a post-event sequence. So rego pages I've spoken about. The key things there is to have a video of you welcoming people in, the key points that it stands for, some testimonials. They're the key things. But once again, if you want to see the rego page, let me know. Anticipation posts. So this was building up before you actually announced the webinar. So we did most of those on LinkedIn. Outreach was really important. So outreach is going to our first connections to get first connections to go and register for the event directly. And also we did some outreach where we were building our connections up at the time, which then meant that they had a greater chance to see my post, because we always mention the last 10 connections in each of our posts, welcoming them to the content. So we did that. And then also what we did is people that had said yes to the event on LinkedIn actually doesn't get them to register. They've got to physically register. So we went and looked at all the people that had said yes on LinkedIn event but hadn't registered and direct messaged them. Posting, so that was in particular LinkedIn posting. So we posted 5 times a week, 3 major posts in the community that I run called the Sales Machine. And that worked really well. And it's, the classic case of having a story and then having a call to action at the end. Activecampaign was all the sequences in Activecampaign, how you set them up, how you do the tagging. There's quite a bit involved in that. Warming them up was sending out messages to certain people that were in your ideal client. So you get lots of people that register, which is great, but the ones that you really think are going to be great, how do you encourage them? And I sent personal videos to them. Channel partners, so that was using channel partners to then expand their reach into their client base to spread it. So I got some really great people onto the webinar through that. Zoom is just the platform. How do you set it up? I recommend Zoom webinars. We did a trial run to make sure it's right, but we use polls. So polls was a great bonus out of that. Post-webinar learnings, we're still doing that in the debrief. Call recordings is just where I had the calls with Sarah Gray that we used as someone to help us. If you want a referral to Sarah, I'm more than happy to do that, or an introduction. Slack is that we had a channel set up for everyone within the registration to come into we've got the Sales Machine, which is our community for helping people build leads, predominantly on LinkedIn. We've got that, and then we had a channel in there for them. Email scripts, highly recommend getting someone. We use a guy called Jules Dan on LinkedIn, and he was great. We wrote a pre-sequence and a post-sequence. And the key one that we did was we did a reactivation campaign that got about 400 people, or we sent it to 400 people and got about 100 people to sign up prior to then doing the email offers out to my list. Facebook event we didn't do. Targets, this we did a little bit too late, but we had a very clear scorecard setting our targets. Once again, I'm happy to share that. Lead magnet, that was something that was really desirable for them to have in a LinkedIn post, and then they actually got that by signing up to the webinar. That was good. Client sharing, so ask some of your best clients who they know in their network. Tracking was similar to targets on how we track that from a scorecard point of view. The replay, so how long do you leave it open? Ours is 48 hours. Where's it hosted? We did it on Zoom, so there's a whole lot of questions there. And then a dress rehearsal, which we did. So I recorded it for Sarah. Sarah gave me some feedback, and it was great. So they're the key things in the project plan. As I said, if you want any specifics out of that, just email me at paul@buildlivegive.com. If you want to know more about the sales machine that I mentioned, just go to the same site, buildlivegive.com, and you can find all the details there. Thank you. Bye.